I just remember growing up feeling insignificant. And in recent years of my life, I just awakened.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Vanilla Bay and the Miracle Vibes. Feature point of the night is Alicia Blackman.
And I'm coming out today. I've discovered my true identity. But I realize that it's okay because God made me this way. That's why I've been waiting my whole life to say that I am black. That's right. You heard what I said. And I know that some of you may shake your head. For a while, I may have only been a suspect. Because this part of me, I tried very hard to reject. I used to try and fight it. But I've discovered that I like it.
All right.
I'm not revealing the obvious color of my skin. I am releasing the acceptance that was hiding within. I'm talking about no longer trying to play pretend in a world that wanted me to just blend.
Come on now.
I am changing my plot of blending in the melting pot. Why try to be something that I'm not when I can appreciate what I've got? I used to hide my natural hair texture by choice. I used to conduct business in my high-pitched voice. But not anymore. And I'm still opening opportunities door. So what was I doing all of that hiding for? So I could be admired. Or maybe get hired. I thought the real me would not be desired. But I can no longer live my life like that. I'm being true to myself and the simple fact that I really love being black. So now it's something you don't have to doubt. I'm no longer in the closet. I'm letting it out. Just never say never. Because you may not expect that you may be the one coming out next. Thank you. People, why do we think that it's so scary to talk about our history when it's not February? Like, all of a sudden, we become aware of our history that's always there. In February, we remember about that dream from the Honorable Reverend Dr. King. And in February, it's lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. But then March the 1st, I think it's a shame that our lives and our progress may still be the same. Has our culture been reduced to a holiday and a game? Our history has the power to encourage other races as we rise from wounded and broken places and embrace the beauty of our own faces. And can somebody please I really want to know why. Especially since 1776 was not our time of independence. That year, we were not free. We were still in slavery. So I was sitting over that barbecue grill and putting ribs in our mouths. Let's just keep it real. While they were talking about how the stars were spangled, our people in captivity still getting strangled. So let's honor January 1st of 1865. Let's light up the day emancipation helped our people to survive. Because the only thing to me that seems to be scary is that we're proud to be ourselves in February. Thank you. I have a confession to make. The more socially conscious that I became, the more that every time I came across a white person, I thought that they looked down on me or that they had something against me. But thankfully, deep down inside, I knew that that was ridiculous. So I actually prayed for a message for myself that would help alleviate my ignorant anger. And the poem is entitled, Grateful. This message is for all of the whites who've always had that desire to love and unite. You were the ones who had our backs and didn't prejudge us because we are black. That makes you more than just an exception to all of the hatred and the rejection. You were a trusted ally when we needed help to get by. You were against all of the suffering that we went through. And as we wept that night, you cried too. That's why we are so grateful of you not being hateful. In a time where discrimination is still tried and true, we have to give honor to whom credit is due. Today, when I needed a job to pay my bills, you didn't focus on my color, but you respected my skills. And yesterday when we marched, I know you took pride. We protested for civil rights, and you were right by our side. And the day before, when the slaves hid underground, my family took shelter in your home, but you pretended they weren't around. And we are so grateful of you not being hateful. Especially during a time when loving us was a crime. You risked your own kindred's respect and trust, all in the name of helping us. You celebrated emancipation. You were dancing and drinking instead of questioning, what was Lincoln thinking? And it's amazing, through all of that pain and insanity, how you managed to keep your love and humanity. You let your children play with us. You came to church to pray with us. And it's nice to see you more than once in a while, still welcoming us with your warm smile. And even though we still have room to grow, we appreciate you. And we want you to know that we still need you. Because uniting humanity is what we can do. I see you, my friend, making it easier as our struggle comes closer to an end. But the truth is, there are still some inequalities out there. But we know better than to think that you do not care. That's why we are so grateful for you not being hateful. Thank you. have the ability to determine the intent of another person's heart? I think not. Let's take one of my paintings, for example. This painting right here, Human Nature 3. Notice how this person in this painting shines in spite of being surrounded by the judgments of others. If we were to just get a glimpse of how God views us, we would cherish each other even more. I hope this next poem will help us to improve the way that we view ourselves. It's entitled, That's a Lie. Hoodwinked? Bamboozled? Maybe so. Whatever the case is, it's time to let it go. Because a lot of the struggling that we are going through are based on things that are not true. Regardless to how these lies came about, we are responsible for casting them out. It doesn't matter what society said. We cannot continue to be misled. In efforts to gain more self-respect, let's put our perspectives in check. We grew up fearing when we grew up hearing. Your skin is dark and your hair is not straight. Since you can't blend in, you can't be great. But that's a lie. So let it die. It was absurd that we heard, you're from the ghetto, so you can't be smart. You can't win, even with the head start. But that's a lie. So let it die. We almost didn't move ahead after this was said. Your people can't build collective wealth because you can't even trust yourself. But that's a lie. So let it die. We were deceived when we believed it doesn't matter what you people think. Your families are doomed, so you'll be extinct. But that's a lie. So let it die. Once we take the mess out of the message, we will rise even more. We will be more united than we were before. We are progressing even with the lies from our youth. So just imagine what we can do with the truth. Thank you. Speaking of the truth, in recent years, studies have shown that over 95% of black men were not incarcerated. Those numbers came from the U.S. Department of Justice and the U.S. Census Bureau in 2008. Another fact. It's interesting that over 76% of black newlywed husbands have new black wives. Just thought you guys wanted to do that. Another interesting fact. Just over a 5-year span, black businesses increased over 60%. Like right now, there are like 2 million, almost 2 million black businesses in the United States of America. So I think that's awesome, you know. Now, don't get me wrong, as a community, we definitely have more room for improvement. But pointing fingers at society and putting the blame on the black woman or the black man, that is taking up too much of our precious energy. Will we all just one day say, it's my fault? I have dished out some mess and I have taken some mess, but now I want to be a part of progress.
Come on now.
I believe we can do it. That's why I am changing the world.
Come on now.
Oh, wait. Sorry. I'm changing the world with one country at a time. I'm changing the countries with one community at a time. I'm changing the communities with just one family at a time. I'm changing the families with one relationship at a time. I'm changing the relationships with just one person at a time. And I'm changing the people with just one poem at a time. Thank you. Before I leave, I just have to say special thanks to God, who is the head of my life. Amen. And to my supportive husband, Ben. Who is the head of our house.
All right, come on now.
Special thanks to my inner circle of family and friends. And all of you guys for coming out tonight, supporting this event, supporting this venue. And thank you very much. Peace.
David.
I thought she did an amazing job. What I really appreciate more than because she had a great stage presence. Clearly she knows her work, but it's the honesty of the work.
Oh, I thought it was awesome. I thought she was so passionate. She was really fired up about it. And she just kept it really interesting. So I thought it was great.
I thought she was wonderful. She really inspired me to be so young. She is so talented. And you know, we think that we being older, that we can always, they're women for us, but we're learning from them. And I learned so much from her poems. They were beautiful, her poetry.
I think one of the important jobs of poetry is to challenge not just yourself, but you know, people who are listening to it. Yes. So it's like she has a real strong sense of self, but at the same time, in an honest sense. You know, it's refreshing.
She was really good. She was like emotional, and she was really well spoken. Like it moved me. I really enjoyed it.
And I liked it, her power that she used in her words, her wordplay, and the messages that she used in her poetry. I felt that was very heart-moving, and I enjoyed it.
I learned so much more about her. I just feel so much more, the word is enriched. To hear a lot of her material live that I hadn't heard formerly.
Alicia was just really powerful. I mean, the whole performance, just powerful.
Well, I'm coming out, because a lot of us are in the closet and don't even know it when it comes to our Black heritage and who we are. So I enjoyed that one very much.
I loved it because we don't want to just celebrate Black history just those 28 days. It should be every month. Every month we should celebrate our Blackness and our heritage and our beauty and our talent and our love for ourselves and being Black.
I believe it was grateful. It was very, very powerful, yes. But she was just articulate and powerful.
I liked how she paused between and gave us statistics, because that stuff that you don't normally read in the papers and stuff, everything's dark. You don't get good news.
She was talking about, that really pertained to me because I'm a teacher, and so I work with students, and she was talking about how bringing in the community, invite one person at a time, you know, one community at a time, one country at a time, like breaking that down. And that's something we tell our students all the time.
started writing this poetry with this subject matter, because I've been writing for years, since I was a child, but my subject matter changed back in 2006. And I was thinking, oh, I'm going to share this with the world. But when Obama was elected president, I literally thought that, okay, well, I have to talk about something else now because we have Obama. But it was interesting that I realized that, you know, even though we have progressed, that we need to bring people along with us. So even in the age of Obama, you know, it's still a relevant message. So it took me almost 3 years to think, oh, okay, I'm not the only one who feel this. Great. You know what I'm saying? Some other people would like to feel great as well. So I dusted the messages off and said, okay, I'm coming out. If I have any objective with my work tonight, is to have millions of others come out, skip that step of going through anger, and just get straight to loving and uniting with everyone. This is Alicia Davis, and I hope you enjoyed this project. In the name of Jesus, you'll see more of me. Peace.